Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, just like as I promised earlier, here is the continuation of that clip from Dr. David Matsanga. Endeavor to watch this message from beginning to the end. I repeat, this message have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, and still counting, because he explains the issue of Simon Ekpa, where the government is going wrong, where the court is going wrong, where the prosecution is going wrong. Everybody need to study this the same way he is doing it for us. This is for us, not for him. So for the sake of our brothers who want to know the what would I call it, the antidote to these miscreants they call Finland and Nigeria, listen to Dr. David Matsanga. So what I'm going to watch now is the part 2 and part 3. Then I will combine part 4 and part 5 after this one. That one is going to be our next publication. So please endeavor to be watching this message until the last part, so that you will understand the do's and don'ts that follows this case. I beg you, make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, let me just read few comments and then we proceed. Drake said, God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. May your days be long. That is what Drake said. Rose said, good morning, Dr. Matsanga. Nigeria is truly a failed nation, and all their lies have now been fully exposed. Please continue to expose their evil deeds. We stand solidly behind you, 100%. Thank you for everything you do for our people. God must surely bless you. Stephen Woke said, God bless you, sir. I can't wait to celebrate you in the United States of Biafra. Indeed, it will be a great celebration the day you will step your foot on Biafra soil. Thanks for your good work. Biafrans are very, very grateful. David Anunobi, God bless you richly, sir, for this sacrifice to defend our people. You have become an everlasting foundation for all our generations that will come to this life. Stay strong, stay safe, and stay blessed. We love you endlessly. These are the messages. So, we have other comments, but we are going to continue from part 4 when we come back. So now we are going to watch part 2 and part 3. Part 1 is already, you have already watched the part 1. So please endeavor to share this message, let it go viral, and make sure as you start to watch the part 1, you complete watching all the whole parts, so that you will help us to connect the dots. If you don't mind, enjoy the rest of this news, and thank you in advance for watching this video and for sharing it and for subscribing to our channel. We owe you a lot. What we owe you, we must deliver at every point in time. Oya, regade.
Waiting for you in the 27 judges. They are waiting. They will listen to my story. You will pay me very heavily down there. You will pay very heavily, and I will be the richest guy on earth. This is a very interesting case. The problem and the point why Nigerian government has run away is because they know they told a lie. A lie that this war did not start in 2023. This war started in 2016. The killings started a long time ago. Buhari took over power and started making sure that Christians are wiped out of the Igbo tribe, who make about 80 to 100 million people. Out of the 250 million Nigerians, the Igbo are the biggest tribe with the highest population. He hates them. He fought them with Goan. He fought them with Obasanjo. Therefore, he hates them up to today. Remember, Buhari abducted Umar Diko, my neighbor, in Surrey in London. He was abducted, put in a coffin. He was going to be taken back to Nigeria. The Finnish authorities, government, when you pick this step, listen carefully. There is, whether you imprison, wherever you want to do, you will never bring peace in Nigeria until you rearrange Nigeria. I've told you, the nearest angel is seeing me up here. And the nearest angel, Mr. Alex Stab, you know it, is Gabriel. You're a Christian like me. We haven't seen any nearest angel who came down, delivered the news of Jesus going to be born by Mary. That's the nearest I know. Listen to me. This case is embarrassing your country. And your country is being embarrassed. You come to Africa, you tell us about human rights, this, mediation, this. Back at home, you are injuring people's human rights. Back in Nigeria, you are selling your country for cheap oil and cheap gas contracts. I don't want to go to bring chaos for your government, but I've collected all the contracts you have signed so far in Nigeria. I have them in black and white. As an investigative journalist, look at me, investigating legal expert, a legal international law expert. You cannot beat me on laws of international nature. I've won cases. I've made people go home and sleep with their wives and their children and their families in the world. If anybody has ever done what I have done, stand up and tell me. If Babugo is not at home, tell me. If Pierre Bemba is not at home, if the 6 Kenyans are not back at home, challenge me. If you have ever arrested Bashir, challenge me. I'm the one. I stood and I opposed this type of stupidity like this one. I'm here because I want to see how people have behaved. Finland, you have disappointed me. This is not a joking matter. I am here to set the record and change history in Europe. That not all of us who come from Africa are stupid. The question any government in Europe should answer is this. And I posed the question. And that's the question I'm posing. And I've told you already why Nigeria has run away, because it can't answer these questions. Has the prosecution so far? And this is what I think. Lawyers, Tommy, I've sent you the copy already. I don't mind. Use it, don't use it, but I want the public to know why I have wasted my time to be here instead of being with my grandchildren and my wife at my age. I have to fight for the freedom of these 2 people. Whether it takes me where, I'll release them. You Biafrans can come and fight with them. Ask them questions when they're out. Don't ask me now, because I will be very bad, rude. And the people who are calling me, I will put your numbers here. Who are calling me, oh, don't support Namdikan, oh, don't support so and so. I have no faction. I'm not a Biafran. I don't need 1 piece of land. So, no. I don't need even an acre. I only need freedom for you. All of you. To be recognized. To be given the right to exist as human beings. That's what I'm doing. Don't look at short term of power. Power to me is not mine. I come from a country where I have a president. We talk. We used not to talk. We talk now. We shake hands because I've forgiven. He has forgiven me. We have moved on. That's why I'm seeking very seriously to educate the people about this case. The question at the center of all this, and listen carefully, there are people, I like there is a lady, a younger girl, I don't know whether from Sweden. Keep on doing what Papa, you call me Papa. Papa, I am your Papa. Yes, Grandpa, I'm here. Keep on telling them, pick this clip and put it up there. There's another lady, a lawyer in court, in town, who has been in court. I see you. Look at this question. For all this time, the question the prosecution has to answer me and convince me. Has the prosecution proved that the particular conduct attributed to Simon Epa satisfies every constituent element of the Finnish terrorism offenses for which he was convicted? That's it. Has it? While the court has fully respected the rights guaranteed by the European Convention on Human Rights. See, I'm speaking Ugandan English, you know. Human rights. I learned English in 1963, 4, 5. J.A. Bright from Cambridge and other universities. Our exams were not set from local places. As an expert of international law, and a person who has studied international law, and understand what courts in Europe and how courts in Europe operate, I will tackle this case in this way. And yes, public. This is public. That is my submission if I were inside. That is the current central question of this appeal for an appeal. It should not be reduced to whether Simon Ekpa political objectives were controversial or whether violence occurred in southeastern Nigeria. That is not the central question. Don't reduce it. That's the central question now. Don't just reduce it to that things happened in South, that Simon was controversial. No. Everybody is controversial. Even the prosecutor who was putting up the case, everybody can be controversial. Every politician, even Alex Stubb, the president of this country where I am, has been controversial on a number of issues. Has been controversial on Russia. Has been controversial on Ukraine. Everybody feels pain when something is happening. Is Alex Stubb not controversial on Russia? He is. When Russia attacks Ukraine, kills people, and they run into his country, is he not controversial? So let's not answer it that way. The decisive question is whether the prosecution proved beyond the applicable criminal law standard. Can I repeat that? The decisive question is whether the prosecution proved beyond the applicable criminal law standard every statutory constituent element of each of offenses charged. Did it? Through evidence that was lawfully, and mark those words, obtained, lawfully obtained, and fairly tested by the defense. Where did we get the evidence? From a corrupt Nigerian intelligence system.
Even a post like this under my comment section and my timeline, something like, indeed, will come to the light of the world, come to Islam. You know, I'm not stereotyping, and I'm not going to be biased. You see, my candid advice to Igbos, especially the businessmen among them, you have to be very sensitive and know how you can secure your land. You know, one thing about Igbos is that they are resilient. Their land could have been taken during the Biafran War, but they discovered that these people cannot be conquered easily, and they are determined people, resilient people. That is why the land of Igbo till now has not been conquered. But you know one thing about Islam that many of you don't understand is that they are gradualists. They are patient people. They are very, very patient. They don't rush. They take time to attend to whatever they want to achieve. You know what Afghanistan told US? They said, you have the weapons, you have the tech, but we have all the time in the whole world. We are very patient. We will wait for you. That was how they infiltrated US education system. They discovered that US cannot be conquered, not by any means. And they discovered that if you can brainwash the upcoming generations of children emanating from US, then you are finished US. That was how Qatar came up with their foundation, started pumping money into US education system from the grassroots. That was how they were able to lobby in Barack Obama in the year 1996 to become senator. And he came in as a Christian, disguised as a Christian, but underneath a jihadist. And he came in with LGBTQ+. He started sponsoring LGBTQ+, brainwashing the children. That was how the children of that time are the youth of today.
A stamp in your passport. How did you meet the suspect? You heard about him? How did you know it was him? How? How did you know that the suspect, the man standing there, was him? Could be a robot. He could be a robot switched on to talk. It's not him. There is no evidence I've seen from the communications systems of this country called Finland placed in court. I haven't seen them. I've not seen any. So my appeal, if I were, and which I am behind, I'm saying I'm a public defense prosecutor. I'm a public defense lawyer. Defense public for the voiceless of international law. So my appeal will point out in this August 2026, I will frame it around 4 points. And I will not frame it to challenge. If you challenge, the court has said it met the standards. I'm now challenging around proceedings. I'll do proceedings rather than treating the original conviction. Mark that as still pending. No, conviction is there. I want to look at the method. Cases are not won by challenging the main case. I am not at this. No. We want to challenge. I'm coaching. Lawyer, watch, listen to me. Proceed. If you have gone to fish and you poison the fish on the way, then bring it for people to eat. That's the proceedings. I want to find out how we reached here. How did we reach here? The original conviction came because it was wrongly got through the bad and the fake evidence. You see, logic. You can see where this Ugandan guy is going. That's it. See me? I'm not joking on that. How did we reach there? You don't tell me we are here already. We have seen you are convicted. You are no. How did we reach here? I've given you the background. There was already violence from 2016. Mr. Simon was working with the army in Finland. He was not there, but the violence was there. Nowhere in this court has the court brought. It even says itself, the prosecutor says, he has difficulties even to find some of this evidence, intelligence convincing. Then how did you come to a conclusion to detain a man? Let's move on. The 4 ways I will challenge this under submission as a defense, public defense, legal expert, lawyer for the public is this. The legal test for the court. The legal test for the court. My fellow Africans and the globe watching, those who will pick, if you have any problem with international law, call me. From my corners, Dr. David Matsanga, the defense should put the prosecution to 4 separate questions. Question number 1, and mark the question. You also at home do some brain talking. What exactly was the prohibited conduct? What was the prohibited conduct in this case? What was it? I don't see it. I've looked at the laws of Finland since I was here. I've been going quietly. Some people show me the library and I stick there. What was the prohibited conduct? The prosecution has not, and did not, and must identify the particular acts attributed to Simon Ekpa. Please, don't tell stories. Not merely acts committed by unidentified zygotes. Sorry to use that name. Armed groups, imaginary, fake ones. They were there. They have killed more people before. In 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. They are there. All persons in Nigeria like Abubakar Malami, who himself was a conduit of terrorists. Don't bring that story here. That you tell us that this is the evidence. No. What are the acts attributed to Simon Ekpa? What? Which one? Did he start this? No. Who started it? Go and ask the government. Why has the government run? Because it cannot explain these circumstances. Hello? The court must distinguish, and this is what I'm telling the court. Political advocacy, separatist expression, inflammatory or offensive speech. What is it? Inflammatory or offensive? A man is talking about advocacy for his home, that his people have been killed from 2016. Actually, from 1967. They want to go away. The universal suffrage does not exist. It gives everybody a right to stay where he feels is safe. The guy has been pleading and he started advocacy. These expressions have been there. The Netherlands court, the Finland court. I'm used to Netherlands in the ICC. That's why the Finland court must distinguish between advocacy for civil resistance, actual incitement to a specific criminal act. They didn't tell me. I didn't see anything coming out of the prostitution. Participation in a terrorist group. I didn't see. Which one is a terrorist created by the same Nigerian people? Nigeria itself created a terrorist unit of jihadis coming down to kill the people in Southeast and then blame it on other people when they were caught. And there several times people were caught. There are exhibits. The defense in court will bring that out. Participation in a terrorist group and directing, financing, or material supporting criminal activity. Criminal activity could, which one? If someone's YouTube pays, if this case could be maybe judge this gentleman for not having paid your tax for YouTube. But everybody, you were speaking to everyone can speak. I'm now speaking and this thing is all over the whole world. I'm not telling people in Indonesia, Jakarta to pick up arms. No. You must distinguish incitement to an offense with a terrorist participation in a terrorist group. Surely, Finnish prosecutors themselves described this case. In the court, I heard the prosecutor said the case as concerning public incitement to an offense with terrorist intent and the participation is in a terrorist group. They found described as the case concerning public incitement. So let me ask one thing. Where is the public incitement? Which public was incited? Which public was incited? The public in Nigeria was already charged before Simon from 2016. He never incited them. He never. They have been killing from 2016. The Finnish court must find out who was killing people before. If they were there, did they see anybody? Did they report? Did they see Simon there on the ground?